No, I'm not gonna do that now. Get out of here, you. Alright, let's see how this looks. Okay. We're in good shape. I'm using this thing, this built-in thing. Maybe I can pivot this. Ah, who cares? How's everyone doing? I'm gonna get another handful of ice. Okay, I'm out of ice. I'm sharing this with mofos. Damn it. You know I did laundry, and I know... Oh, I need more tank tops, it seems. The glass is still in the process, while in the master building in the alleyway. I saw the lens in the brick, the sensitive trick, the intense and the thick of the tally. Fuck! Every corner's got a pupil, every soul's got a scruple. Watching the multitude come from Soviet and duple. It's a theater of the great, where the actors never play. Waiting for the signal in the middle of the day. I'm scanning the block, jamming the lock, slamming the rock for the democratic. The signal is static, a criminal erratic, a pinnacle of magic for the finding the secret before you can leak it. Your history is mine, the misery is signed. The architectural science is digitally designed. I saw the man with the tin, the man with the thing, watching for the spark in the human.
Aha!
The tracing the
I knew it.
facing the wrath, the wasting the math for the beneficiary.
I needed a tank top. It's getting hot.
Swallowed out strife or followed out life for the judiciary. We're balancing the finance and the silence. That's the science of the violence and the stiff defiance of the street alliance. They calculate the breath and fabricate the death, leaving the truth in the shadows of the underneath. I found a fly spot where the power fails, where the signal dies and the screen
Alright.
fails. I'm breaking the screen, shaking the scene, taking the lead from the techno track. A rugged design, a plugged and decline, a loved and defined for the aristocrat.
Oh yeah, I can turn on my fancy light, huh?
Freedom that the residents need. No tracking, no mapping, no digital trapping. Just the sound of a heart in the darkest clapping. They can watch the skin, but they can't see the within. The original DNA in the middle of the sand.
Oh, we're blocking it.
$4.82. Sure. Put the milk back. Next in line.
Fuck it.
I'm counting the six, I'm out in the fence, I'm dropping the tents for the economists. The proper design is not the
There we go. Alright. But I can do fancier shit than that, you know, I can... I kind of like the pink, I don't know. Seeing Life Tunnel?
Building the kingdom on the edge of the grave. I'm stacking the crates, I'm tracking the rates, I'm packing the face for the capitalist. A bit of display, a little relay, a glitter delay for activists. $1 for the bread, $2 for the heat, $3 for the shoes on the bottom of the feet. The architecture of silence is calculated in copper. A visible limit for the unwilling shopper. I saw the owner in the apron, his eyes were like glass, watching the misery of the multitude pass. He's selling the dream, he's telling the scheme, he's shelling the beam from the materialist. I hollowed out prayer, swallowed out care, I followed out snare for the imperialist. I remember when the nickel.
Yeah, I like that.
Now it barely covers the length of a mile. I'm shaking the jaw,
Yeah.
I'm breaking the bar, I'm taking the car for the escapist. A rugged design, a plug and decline, a loving divine for the idealist. The naked reality is weighed on a scale in a post office lobby with the certified mail. Every penny is a piece of the DNA strand, dropped in the dirt of the Brooklyn land. We're balancing the finance and the silence, that's the science of the violence and it's just defiance of the street alliance. It's the grind of the metal, the settle of the dust, turning the value and the honor and the rust. I'm climbing the flight, I'm rhyming the night, I'm timing the light for the
Alright, whatever.
a frozen relay, a broken delay, a token is great for the historist. The black guy's coming.
If you like stoner content, please support me.
I am the bone in the marrow and the tears.
I am the Weed Goku on Twitter.
Don't need a balance, I need a way
You know, people really misunderstand what I'm doing here. They're like, you're gonna make weed your entire personality. I'm like, no. But I want a place I can go
the market is dry.
where I can get baked and chill without people getting up my fucking ass about it. You know, I live in a legal state, and still, you know, places like where I'm living, it's hard to find a little bit of peace and quiet for a stoner, you know, without getting judged. Not that I care, I just don't need, I don't. Maybe it's, you know, at some point you care so little that you kind of come back around and then you do care, because it just becomes really annoying. So fucking dumb. I probably should have ground this flour up. Where's my lighter? Oh, here's one. Fell off the table. By these clippers that look like lipstick. Let's see how the chat's going.
Stop worshiping the bullet. It's got no brain and no heart. It's a piece of that designed to tear your whole world apart. The block don't mourn nobody. It just finds a new body to borrow.
Cool. It's actually working. The fan. The way you get the smoke to leave is you got to throw wide wind at a narrow window. Meaning, think of like trying to push someone really fat through a door and their fat rolls, right, getting stuck and then folding back around. Think of that with the wind, where you're shoving big fat wind through the window and it's like not fitting and getting caught on the edges and folding back. You want some wind to hit the edges of the window, even if it means closing the window a little bit. But you want to throw this much wind at this much window. You want a wide, big old wall of wind coming at a narrow window. But you don't want the window so narrow that no air will pass through it. It's all a balance. And this bong sucks ass. I just came out of surgery, so I can't exactly push all this shit back. I had to stop using my big bong because I felt like it was just too heavy for me, because eventually you got to clean it, and that's like a lot of it's not easy to clean a big bong, you know? And it's a lot of weight when you put fluid inside of it. Yeah, good. Oops. So,
and I believe that mama working midnight, double shifts at county general. The lights kept getting cut like all our hope was ephemeral. 2 window fans in a hot plate. That's the inventory tragedy. Was Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. 3 would overlap before the next one dropped the block. Just kept on drumming back. Now keep the irony of making it out rarely. The same block that scarred me like the third degree.
okay.
Like the OGs on the bench was born squarely. But every morning sounded like the teacher.
Sorry, distracted by text messages. I need to block everybody. So, funny story. So, I got this toaster from Amazon, and we're gonna fast forward. I killed the toaster. I think it's my fault. If it is my fault, I continue to say 5-star toaster. It was a cheap Amazon Basics toaster. Alright, I'm gonna actually yeah, I'm not done getting stoned though. I need a bigger bong though. I have a bigger bong, it's just not gonna happen. Not until I'm better. You know what's interesting? In Japan, in the 80s, there was less differences between Japanese entertainment and American entertainment. And their music actually had a lot in common with our music. If you listen to City Pop from the 80s, it has a lot in common with our American pop from the 80s. Ah, fuck. I killed my music. But you'll find that a lot of movies and a lot of entertainment in the 80s from Japan had a lot in common with American entertainment. Where was I going with all this? I have no fucking idea. I'm too high. Damn it! I completely lost my train of thought. Look, I'm not gonna lie, getting stoned, it doesn't help me maintain my train of thought. But I'll fucking say this. It makes it 10 times harder talking to myself. That's the real problem. If because I'm pretty good at tracking if I'm with somebody else, but if I'm alone, man, it's just the whole thing just feels stupid and surreal. I don't like talking into a microphone with no one on the other side. I don't like it. Oh yeah, so funny story. Why was I talking about Japan? I don't know. Whoops. I'm just trying to get some guests. You know, where'd I put my hat? Oh, this hat is so gay and doesn't fit my fat fucking head. You know, maybe this is supposed to have a little bit of water in it. I don't know. I'm doing another bong rip though. That's what I do know. Chat! Tell your friends! I really would like to stream on X, but like whenever I use the app on my phone, it just fucking takes a shit on me. Oh. just gonna grind up all this. It's like 2.75 grams here. I bet my measurement's right. You know what's funny is I just left the hospital today. I had to they had a follow-up checkup on the hernia surgery, and it's really funny because I'm about the same weight as I was before, but there's no fucking way I didn't lose some muscle. There's no fucking way I didn't atrophy to some point. Because I wasn't lifting. I mean, I'm not a weightlifter, but I wasn't lifting much of anything, because you can't without it'll disrupt your surgery. And I'm about the same weight, so I probably traded like 5 pounds of, like 10 pounds of muscle for fat. Like, I know I've been eating like a complete maniac, and there's no fucking way I didn't put on some fat. There's just no fucking way. Is what it is, though. I don't care. I do need to, need some more physical activity in my life. I'm just getting old. It gets hard when you're getting old, you know. My body's all broken. I'm only, you know, I'm not even 40 yet. You know, I hate this piece because it's just never going to be big enough. Oof. But I keep it around because it's easy to clean. But I think yeah, I'm not. I really destroyed. I destroyed a bowl there. You could probably watch that back and see where I, oh God. Like, it's kind of like torture, but, oh, fuck, man. Problem with, so bong tips for the stoners. You know, the bigger the bong, the less odds that this is going to end up here in your flower. You don't want water in your flower ever. Because it's just, boys at a bad fucking time. I mean, like, fucking, you know. Kind of had enough. You know what? Fuck it. Had enough? Alright. Fuck this little bong. This big thing is right on the edge of what I'm supposed to be lifting. I just can't take it anymore. For those of you podcast heads who can't handle a mic, fucking deal with it. But I will blow it straight up so it won't hit the mic. This, oh man, I've already, made some bad decisions. regarding this table. But that's okay! Get out of here, stupid, disgusting bong. Little bong. Okay. How do I look? How am I in the shot? Alright. It's dark as hell in here. Jack shit. Well. Nah, fuck it. Fuck it, who cares? Well, I can do this. It's not perfect. Well, that was disgusting. Whatever happened to that bong rip? It could be the flour, really. It really could just be the flour. So if you don't have a big piece in your grinder, you know, I'm gonna try this. Maybe I can just mash up the stuff at the bottom. If I die again, this flour is fucked. Oh. There was a shop that I was visiting, and I thought they had good stuff. But I went to them one more time, and twice more times, because I was stupid and I didn't learn the first time. You know, I was a fool. I thought, you know, because the weed I had bought, the quality, I observed the flour, and I felt the flour, and I smelled the flour, and I broke it up, and I smoked it, and something gave me a headache, but everything looked and smelled great about the flour, felt great. It was sticky in a land where the weed is often not sticky. So I just didn't connect the dots correctly. I thought, surely it's not this flour. Surely. And I was a fool, and I will never go back to that shop again. And I won't say which shop it is, but yeah, we'll just move on. It's a shame that the OLCC does not do its job, because you should never get fucked up headaches from your weed, period. Like, should never happen. It's not just because it's strong weed. That's a lie. Terpenes, that's a lie. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's marketing speak. People that repeat that bullshit are either part of the lie or they believe the lie. It's wrong. Good weed won't put you in a bad situation. I mean, unless you're a rookie. I'm not a rookie. Smoke the best of them. God damn it. So if I smoke your weed and I'm in a bad position, don't fucking tell me, terpenes, it's just strong. Shut up. I'm from here. I come from the land of some of the best weed in the world. And it's all crap now. This dispensary bullshit. Anyway. Like, this dispensary weed is like the difference between tobacco and, I got a piece of a bagel and a Hershey's bar wrapper. I forgot about this. I didn't have a plate around. No, but you take natural tobacco, and I don't know anything about it, but they add so many chemicals to it, before it goes into the pack of cigarettes, that, it starts to be very much more toxic. Now, does it cause cancer? That's a different conversation, but because it does cause cancer, why? Is it the chemicals or the tobacco? I don't know. But I do know that on one hand, they never said, they said weed never killed nobody. But on the other hand, we haven't had dispensary weed for very long. Now have we? And they'll use whatever fucking... Are we, like... I'm trying to find a good spot on this. Oh, here we go. They'll use whatever trick in the book they can to get the weed out the door right now and pass their stupid tests. But it's not a system that provides good flour for the peoples. Regardless, I got an ice machine. We can talk about that. Just a simple, cheap Amazon ice machine. It has basically these stick-looking things, like fingers. They come down, and the ice cubes freeze around those, and then eventually they drop off, and then the machine drop, like with a with a moving scooper, will scoop it out of the thing and drop it into the tray. Gives you about 10 little ice cubes for every 10-ish minutes. Maybe 15 minutes. It's kind of slow. You kind of have to be patient with the thing. But whatever. I'm happy with it. I'm really only using it for the bong. I didn't prep. I thought I was going to be using this little bong, so I just decided not to fuck with the ice. Anyway, it's nice having the ice thing. If you know, whether you're a stoner or not, I recommend finding yourself a cheap ice machine if you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, and start there. The one I got, it holds enough water. I don't know if it holds half a gallon or whatever. Maybe less than that. But it's more than enough water. I'm happy with it. I'm totally happy with my purchase. 5 out of 5. I don't know. Like, there's nothing about this purchase where, like, I feel like I spent too much money, or I feel like I got ripped off, or I feel it was misleading. Yeah. So it's gonna be difficult if this thing starts to get grimy. I don't know how I'm gonna clean it. We'll have to figure that out later. So I was making a drive recently, and if you've ever been to the state of Oregon, you'll learn very quickly, or not, because no one seems to learn this fact about the fucking state of Oregon. We always have an active merging lane going on. There's always a merging situation. We don't have big wide highways, and the right lane is always a changing situation. And honestly, we could travel in the right lane. We could, if everyone slowed down at the merge and let traffic in, or find your place at the merge. But everyone's in the Pacific Northwest now is such a self-absorbed bitch, and they can't fucking pay attention to nothing but, you know, what's going on in front of their face. They can't bother to turn their head to realize they got to merge with other drivers. So I'm to be fair, this was not like an off-ramp situation. But it was a merging situation where my lane was going to become one lane. We had two going on. The lines in the middle are going to disappear. The dotted line, it disappears. And then you have one lane. And you got to be fucking grown-ups and merge. You know, you got to be adults. Do your job. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know if we have a mentality here. Like, I don't know if these are Californians moving up here or what, but everyone feels like they just don't have to be like part of the program with driving. Like, merging, you gotta merge. It's the law. You gotta, you know, if you collide, the insurance companies and or the cops are gonna deduce what part of the merge you did right or wrong. Someone's going to be wrong or both parties are going to be wrong, whatever. It's like curbside parking. This is one of the most elementary, day one, you really need to figure this out right away situations. And no one could give a fuck. No one could give a fuck about looking around. So, my lane disappears, right? And, or I can see it's disappearing. The car in front of me wants to pass on the right. And I can't quite remember at what point. So, I'm sorry. You got van and trailer, one unit. You got car behind him. You got me. And then you got a Dodge Ram behind me. Lane is gone or going to be gone, like right now, like very soon. This is a situation. And, car behind the van and trailer wants to jump around on the right as the lane's going away. I see this happen. So I adjust. I can't remember if I think I may have took my foot off the gas for a second. But whatever happened, at some point I look on my right and the Dodge Ram that was behind me now all of a sudden wants to pass me on the shoulder. And I'm just like, do people not know there's an active merging situation going on? Is everyone just fucking staring at their phones and checking X or whatever, checking Twitter, checking YouTube, whatever, fucking around on their phone, doing whatever the fuck, but watching the road? Because it's like people they're just like zombies. Like, I'm gonna merge. I'm gonna take the shoulder. Like, did the COVID shots remove people's ability to fucking fear for their life? Because, like, you're going to kill somebody. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Both the Dodge Ram and the car that tried to pass the van were behaving in a way that said, fuck all the human life around me. Couldn't give a shit if anyone got killed for any reason. So, I'm in the middle of these two retards that want to play, homicidal games on the fucking highway. Car trying to go around the van and the truck trying to jump around, I don't know, everything. I don't know where the truck thought he was going to go. There's no lane. So I just held down my horn and got out of the lane. Luckily, there was a little bit of room. I cut off a BMW. The BMW is probably too dumb to know what was going on, and people are just honking back at me like I did something wrong. This is the most irritating thing about the Pacific Northwest, is people behave in a way that is completely retarded, and then when you say, "Excuse me, what in God's name are you doing?" They couldn't give a shit. They'll get mad at you. They'll want to fight you. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with them. And everyone's so anti-cop, they scared off all the police. I would have loved to have a cop behind that retard that tried to jump around me. Because I can handle the retard in front of me, but not the retard behind me pushing me out of my lane. Back into the middle of the highway. Thank God I had space. I don't know where I would have gone. I would have had to push him off the road or fought, for my position in the lane. Like, this is why you carry in the state of Oregon. Half of it is because motherfuckers can't drive, and they'll do shit that makes you say, what are you doing? Is this about driving? Do you have a problem with me in a way? Like, are you trying to kill me? What did I do to you? Right? This is why I carry. These are the situations that my family does not see. Right? I need to put up a dash cam, because I had a big blowout with my family last year because I mentioned bad drivers are why I carry. Right? And I have the card. I can legally carry. I took the class. I'm not an idiot. I know how guns work. But people drive in a way like it makes me go, are you gonna get out on the next stop sign, or the next light where I'm going to be stuck. That's the fear, because people, they start driving in a way, and I'm like, what is wrong with this person? This is like more than them being in a rush now. So, I said this to a certain individual in my family. This is why I carry, is what I said, because of the way people drive. And they just wanted to treat me like I was crazy and like I had problems. But I don't know where, I don't know how often this person gets out, but I've had people behind me try to pass on the double yellow and where they shouldn't, and almost wreck into me, and like shit like this where they push me back into the highway, like just merging like crazy. They follow me. They they get all the way up my ass. They do their best to make it look like they're trying to hit you. And it's like, I'm not going to shoot out the windows. I mean, unless they do first. Anything retarded like that. No. But it's like, if my life is literally in jeopardy, and it's I'm concerned about like what happens when we stop. Because this person might follow me. That's the fear. I've had people get out of their fucking car before. I was just lucky enough to where I could drive around them in the oncoming lane. No one was in the way. I had a guy that thought I was following him because he was being paranoid. Because I happened to honk at him. I think he ran a stop sign or something. And then he was in front of me. And then after I was behind him for too long, for no reason, we were going the same way, he got out of the car. What? I had a guy fucking hit me with a water bottle once. This is before I carried. And it was such a weak hit, right? And you're just not allowed to defend yourself in the state of Oregon. It didn't do anything to me. And so I just told him, dude, you hit like a girl, you need to leave. Because I had a car full of food I had to deliver, and it was a high-paying delivery. I wanted to get paid. It was like $60 on the line. I've been through hell to get the food. So once you fight like hell to get the food, like, there ain't nothing. And like, look, if I'm just gonna like be fully honest, like now that I'm just talking about it, the thing that would require me to unfortunately have to use my my pew pew, it would be if somebody, like, one of the 100 things, but if you hit me and I'm unconscious, like holding on to consciousness, and you keep hitting, like, I'm 5'6", man. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do if you're a psychopathic drug addict and you come at me for no fucking reason? Right? Because I don't have time to talk. I'm working. I'm not talking to anybody. People are nuts here. Sometimes you don't know when someone's gonna lose it here because there's so many drug addicts around. Right? So that's why I carry. And the road is no different. The fucking road is no different, because eventually the car stops. And they may just follow you. Some people, they get bad road rage, I don't like it. I'm always trying to be the chill driver, but like, people try to run you off the fucking road for no reason. Like, I don't know what. If the driver of that fucking Dodge Ram is watching this, shame on you. You're completely insane. Same goes for the car in front of me. But you were less of my problem than the van. If you had hit that van, you would have taken out everybody on the freeway. I don't know why everyone's like, I got to be first. I'll kill everybody. That's the mentality. Like, I will take all the lives around me because being first is more important than human lives. Because I don't know if it's a California mentality or what, but like, you'd see it in elementary, where kids would run to the front of the line. It was always the same kids. They just had to be first. And some people never fucking grow out of that. And maybe it's because they're used to the people in their lives allowing them to be first. Me first, me first. Just get in line with everybody else. You're not special. Merge like everybody else. Zipper merge. You know how the zipper works? Just, God damn it. These are all very simple parts of driving, but they also are matters of life and fucking death. Like, and we have no cops. Like, I'm not going to get political about the police, but like, I would like to have a few around while these cocksuckers are running me off the road. Because if I crash and I get out of the car and this dude wants to keep coming at me, if he's lost his mind absolutely, and I have to defend myself, it would have been nice if there was a cop there in the first place. Like, it used to be you couldn't do shit without getting a ticket. Every responsible driver in the world in the 70s had a long list of tickets. Just from driving 6 miles per hour over or whatever. Don't get me wrong. I don't want more cops. I want people to grow the fuck up and stop trying to kill each other on the road. But no one can behave. It's always these motherfuckers that want to sit there and like, oh, we don't want more authority. But these people never behave. They drive like complete maniacs. And I don't mean, oh, they're driving too fast. I couldn't give a fuck about speed. I don't care about driving. Drive as fast as you want, as long as you can slow the fuck down in time and maneuver through traffic safely. But if you're going so fast that other drivers have no way to react to you, or you'll send them into a panic, you can't, there's a limit to that. But for the most part, it's people that can't merge correctly, can't turn lanes correctly, don't use their signal. Shit like this, shit that actually causes accidents. They get bent out of shape. They get bent out of shape like crazy when you impose rules on them or say anything about having more police in the city. I'm tired of these people, man. Like, all these dipshits that run red lights and all this crazy shit. Like, I'm really not that much of a stickler. Like, if you want to drive fast and drive safe, fine. Really, I think it's obnoxious that we're lowering all the speeds throughout the city. I think driving fast is not a problem. It's terrible drivers are the problem. And I don't know how these people are getting their driver's license. It's not a cultural problem at all. They're bad drivers come in all different shapes and sizes and colors. It doesn't matter. But it just seems like almost everybody's a bad fucking driver these days. Maybe some of them don't even have driver's licenses. I don't know. The not having a driver's license thing is, once again, not a cultural thing. People are like, they think it's like an illegal alien thing to not have your driver's license. But there are plenty of Americans that were born here and have been here forever that don't care about having a driver's license or insurance, and they just get in the car. And because there's no police, they know they can do it forever. You probably got 15 years of fucking around behind the wheel doing whatever the fuck you want. Well, until you got to operate in a way where they don't notice you. But people go around with old tags, they no driver's license, nothing. Cops don't care. Once again, I think cops should be focused on crime, right? Really, the worst crime. But when you're driving in a way that gets people killed, that puts you up there with the worst crime. Sorry. So, I don't think these are psychotic, irrational opinions of mine. They're not far-right opinions. They're not conservative opinions at all. In fact, these are the opinions of people that want to have safe living environments, safe cities, where I think we have gone crazy with our road laws. I think it's out of control. I think they've made it so slow and so bad to where, like, no turn on red. Like, give me a break. No turn on red. Like, what the fuck is that? You gotta be catering to the stupidest drivers in the world for no turn on red to be a thing. This city is congested because we've lowered speeds. We've added more stupid islands to the middle of the road. We've added more barriers to where you can't go over the double yellow when you need to turn around or to like, picture this. There's a curve with a stop sign coming up to it that I can think of. And they put poles on the yellow lines in the middle of the road, so you can't drive through these two lanes across the road. You can't cross the street to get into the shopping center or onto the main. You can't you can't turn left onto the main road either. You got to turn right there. And that sends you fucking way out of your way. And it's the easiest left turn in the world. Like, I think we need to get to the root of the problem, which is bad drivers and why they're on the road. And I think many of them don't have driver's licenses. If you could cut out those problems, we wouldn't need all these barriers on the road. We wouldn't need to make all the speed signs designed for grannies that can't drive 35. Like, this is bullshit. And we have more stoplights than ever, like more cameras. More, we have, well, crosswalks aren't really a problem, but they're taking away lanes where they're very needed, and no one's using the bike lanes that they're putting in. Like, they're doing whatever they can to congest traffic, and I think we need to move traffic. Like, we need to speed up, not slow down. Like, I think the people that need to slow the fuck down need to get the fuck off the road and maybe take the bus. Because the road should be somewhat of a dangerous place. Not because people are reckless, but because, like, smart people can drive fast. That's why the Autobahn exists in Germany. Because they make sure you can drive. Like, you really have to know how to drive. And they don't fuck around. They don't. Not in Germany, not with their road laws, not with, they're very strict. It's hard to get a license in Germany. Here, fucking, you can go for 10 years and they don't even know you don't have a driver's license. Okay, I had a thought. I had this thought. I'm gonna kill this fan. I don't need it. And I find it to be, it's kind of a frustrated thought. So there's more conspiracy theorists than ever, right? And look, I don't have a problem with certain conspiracy theories. But we got to be able to prove it to a reasonable degree, right? Having a hunch, like, if you're a bitch, you'll have hunches against people all the time. If you're like a judgmental bitch, like Candace Owens, right? You'll have all sorts of hunches about people. They're probably like this. They're probably like that. But that doesn't count as evidence. So if you're going to get up there and say, oh, I think, so-and-so did this. Well, I think so-and-so, I think this about Charlie Kirk's wife. The widow. Like, come on. Like, how's that? Just to be completely self-centered, how's that going to look for you when like, everyone turns and says, you can't prove any of this? Like, or does that matter to society anymore? Does evidence count anymore? Oh, that was a good cartwheel there. Does evidence count for shit anymore? You can accuse people of being, this or that. you can accuse people of murder, right? You can make up all these stupid stories, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Evidence counts. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of crazy stories that are true. I just don't think. Sorry, it's surgery. I just don't think it's appropriate to tell stories around someone's death, especially right after they die, and then you can't back it up. I think it's despicable, and furthermore, like there's like, I don't know if this is like some kind of like mental illness or whatever. But these conspiracy people, they fucking, let's get a different game going. These conspiracy people, the ones like the really bad ones, it is it's like a form of paranoia, right? We'll talk about this game later. These conspiracy people, it's a form of paranoia where everything is being affected by some kind of overarching bullshit. Everything is being affected by. Oh, I need to full screen this shit. What am I doing here? Everything, like right now, it's Israel. Everything is Israel. Oh, Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel. It's I'm too stoned to The problem with the whole Charlie Kirk getting killed by Israel situation is I think this country has a left-wing violence problem, and don't get me wrong, any group can be violent. Any political affiliation has its terrorists, right? The right and the left both have their terrorists, but it seems right now the left, in large numbers, is still like totally okay with the fact that Charlie Kirk got blown away in broad daylight in a graphic fashion. It was terrible. It was a horrible day. Like, I had COVID in the middle of that. I remember, because COVID's, I've had it twice now, and I get like weirdly bent out of shape emotionally when I get COVID, in a way that I don't with other illnesses. Like, it's kind of a roller coaster for me. And I just remember thinking of all my retarded coworkers at Walmart, because I worked for Walmart for like a month, and half the reason I quit was because everyone there was retarded and far left. And one of my coworkers was actually at some riot downtown. And anyway, but where was I going with all that? These it's troublesome that so many people on the left resort to violence quickly. Like, it's a problem. You just can't be this way, because it's like sleeper cells. You can turn on large groups of people and create a large force of very dangerous people. And when one group of people believes very similarly on a lot of issues, and then they believe the solution for a lot of issues is violence, like, that's a problem. We need to identify that group and investigate those guys. And the left's a problem. The left has this problem, like, in big numbers, and they need to be sorted out, investigated and all that. I'm not advocating violence, because like violence just provokes more violence. And I've always believed, like, communication, even if it's yelling, communication is a way to it's the way to get things done. Like, I just That's why I think language barriers are a big issue in this country. Like, we got to be able to communicate with each other better. Um, God, I'm lit. Where are we going with all with all this? But it's this conspiracy theory stuff. It's a problem because you have to be a person that's governed by data. Now, don't get me wrong. You can find plenty of conspiracy theory type. You can fill out your bar with all this stuff, right? Oh, okay. You can fill out your entertainment bar with all this conspiracy stuff and make sure it's fact based and still get your fix, right? You can still get your conspiracy fix that way. But it's just so gross. I mean, look, I think these people need some kind of medication or something because it's like a mental illness, and it kind of swells up in parts of people's lives when things are really bad. And I feel like a lot of Americans, just like myself, are really feeling like the system has them down. And don't get me wrong, I agree. You know, the price of things, the people that control all of this shit, they're not going to lose a dime. They're going to keep jacking up the prices until nobody can afford anything. That's a fucking problem. That's a problem for everybody. And I think some people feel like, well, someday I'll be rich and this won't be a problem. Whether you're rich or poor, no one wants to spend a lot of money on basic shit all the fucking time. Everything's too expensive. You know, it's retarded, the price of things. Like, really, it's really bad. Everything's stupid expensive. And, like, look, I was advocating for Trump's tariffs in the beginning, but it's clear we're just shitting all the money away on Israel and every other foreign problem, and it's just everything but the holes in the road and domestic, American issues. We don't give a fuck about American issues as a government anymore. It's all this foreign bullshit all over again. Trump campaigned like he was somebody different than our Bush. I forgot, is it H.W. Bush? The more recent Bush. Like, how the fuck, like, how is Trump any different than all these mainstream Republicans? These, like, the old, like, the Bush era Republicans, like, or Obama, or just all the shit he campaigned against, like all the immigration stuff, all the war stuff. You can dig up all the key points he made that got him elected, and now he's going backwards on all of it. How are these tariffs saving us any money? No one's receiving a check from Trump. We're not getting shit back for any of this. I heard someone say, and this was after I said Americans deserve $10,000 a piece. Maybe this guy saw my video, but I saw some financial guy. I'm not one of these money dudes, these business dudes. I really can't stand it, like talking business. But I saw one of these guys that said Americans deserve $100,000, but they must be forced to pay down their debt as much as possible immediately when they get the money. Yeah, I think between COVID and all these stupid wars and all these stupid tariffs and all the cash that's been squeezed out of Americans and all the businesses that have been completely decimated in the past 10 years or so, I think the government owes us 100 grand a piece. Like, they print money all day like it doesn't matter. Like, why not? And I think a lot of that cash, would go into debt. I don't have that much debt. I don't have nearly that much debt. Not even a drop in the bucket. It would save a lot of lives. I think You know, they could do like 10 grand for people that don't own homes, that don't have rent debt, you know, don't have school debt. I don't know. Like maybe 2 tiers to this. I don't know. But I think Americans are owed. Like, I'm really not one of these people that like thinks Americans need to be bailed out by the government. I'm really not. But I think a big part of the problem has been created by the fucking government. Their horrible fucking decision making has become our problem. Them and all these retarded corporations that, you know, just invest poorly, make terrible decisions, and then they jack up the prices like it's our problem. I don't give a fuck if the government's forcing to auto manufacturers to build their cars differently. At some point, like, cars got to be affordable. Like, $26K is the bottom line for a decent hybrid, and you better be driving a hybrid with gas prices the way they are, or you're spending $300 a month on fuel if you're driving at all, right? Like, not even driving a lot. That's $300 a month out the door on fuel, easy, no problem. So, you know, driving a normal car without gas. I will say though, if gas is not a problem for you, and you're buying a car, think about this. You don't have to pay interest on fuel. And sometimes older vehicles that are not as good on fuel are still very reliable. But the price of fuel is terrible on the West Coast. So, blue cities, man, price of fuel, they hate fuel. They hate things being affordable. They love crime. It's the only thing they love is crime. And lying about who's committing crime. So, let's talk about Chael Sonnen going after Mr. Ballen on Twitter. Can I find this? Here it is. Oh, I think he said, okay, so Mr. Ballen, if you haven't heard of Mr. Ballen, he tells scary stories on YouTube. A lot of stories about people dying in the woods and, you know, stuff like this. He's a good dude. He's a former Navy SEAL, apparently. He said, such a great guy. He says, Mr. Ballen says, so honored to be a guest on Joe Rogan. Episode dropped yesterday. Just walking into Joe's studio space was so surreal. Like everyone else on the internet, I had seen... Oh, sorry, my neck is killing me. Like everyone else on the internet, I have seen that red curtain many times on my phone screen, but actually to sit down in front of it in real life is crazy. Joe and I told a lot of stories over our 3-hour show. I hope you enjoy it. Also, Joe and his crew could not have been more professional and hospitable. Truly a world-class group of people. Thank you all so much. And Chael says, dude, get off your knees. This is such a letdown. Your insincere ass kissing, which could have been done by saying, hope he has me back. What a weasel you are. I don't know what Chael has between him and Mr. Ballen. I don't know what beef Mr. Ballen has with Chael. I don't know what's going on here. By the way, men don't use laughing emojis and exclamation points in excess. Learn how to use a period, weasel. And this is, go to at chaelsonnen.com, at chaelsonnen on X. But I'm looking at these tweets right now. I don't want to pull them up on fucking. Just look up Chael Sonnen on X. This was done 2 days ago. Hilarious. It's this is hilarious stuff. I'm not gonna go against Chael. I'm not gonna pick sides on this. I wonder if Chael has Mr. Ballen confused with somebody else. I'm very interested to see if this goes anywhere. I don't want to take sides on this issue. I don't want to be Mr. YouTube drama. But it is very interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to take this. I'm just going to leave it alone. Trump's got all these tariffs on Canadian cars now, apparently. He's fucking up the tariffs on the Canadian cars, making it worse. I forget the number. What about all the Japanese cars he said we were going to get? Like, not only does everyone have more tariffs, but we don't even have any of the, the cars he was talking about. Like, I don't know, man. There's nothing good. He's not fulfilling any of the good promises, and he's just doing a lot of shit that nobody likes. He's losing his base. Like, he's going to tank the Republican Party single-handedly. If the Democrats win again, we are fucked. We're going to go right into all this gender denial shit. People are going to be all about changing their gender and shit again. It's just so stupid. I'm not a fan of the current Republican Party. I'm not a fan of the MAGA movement. It's mostly dead. I think Trump has totally gone about face. I'm not a fan of Trump anymore. But I can't take any of these gay-ass Democrats. I'm just too straight for that. They're too gay. It's just all this weird gender-confused bullshit. And furries and perverts and just, I can't. Internet fucking weirdos and piercings and I hate it. Conspiracy theories. No, they're crazy, man. They're crazy, crazy, crazy on the left. They're too crazy. I can't go back to them. They've gone fully crazy. They support crime more often than not. I'm done. No. So, well, let's wrap this up with my toaster. Well, I'm gonna. Well, so I got a toaster through Amazon. I'm gonna tell this rant. I gotta take a break. I gotta pee. I got this toaster through Amazon, and it's a great toaster, but I killed it because I was putting hot dogs in it. There was even a moment where a hot dog got stuck between the wall of the toaster, and that it got, because the toaster has tracks that go up and down, and then but there's a space, and it got stuck in the wall. So I had to pull it out with a fork, and I turned it on the other day, and it blew up on me. It made a loud pop sound, and then when I tried to make toast, when I pushed it back down and hit the button, it just made weird clicking sound, and it smelled bad, and so I'm not gonna be like, Amazon, give me my money back, because I fucked that up. I fried that fucking toaster. But, what are you gonna do? Great toaster, though, if you can find the Amazon Basics toaster with the wide slots, the big bagel slots, and you use it accordingly, not like a psychopath like me. Great toaster. Use it for bagels, not hot dogs. But man, those hot dogs I made with that toaster were awesome. So, slight chance it could have been something else. I had the coffee pot right next to it too. So, anyway, give me a minute. I gotta pee, and then we'll talk about video games quickly. Oh my God. All right. I've been working my way through Castlevania Circle of the Moon, and man, I don't know where to begin with this fucking game, and I'm extremely mixed on it. Like, we'll just say that. God damn, I need new glasses. By the way, um, where was I going with this? Fuck. So, I've been making my way through Circle of the Moon, and this fucking game, I'm really mixed on it. I am. So a little bit of pretext. I played Circle of the Moon back when it came out on the platform it came out for, the Game Boy Advance, not the SP, regular ass Game Boy Advance. Now, back in the day, for you youngsters who don't know what the hell went on back in the day in the early 2000s, these fucking handhelds, actually, it wasn't until the SP came out. I don't remember what year that thing came out. Game Boy Advance Special with the folding clamshell design and a backlight. But this goddamn game was so dark, no one could see it without a backlight. Even in broad daylight, people had a hard time playing this game. So now you can play this game on whatever device it is compatible for. I still want some kind of device I can play my fucking Xbox games on portably. If that's a word. But I don't know what to do, because I cannot play this game on my phone. So it's very frustrating. Something about Xbox that sucks is they want to go in the opposite direction of letting you play these fucking games wherever you want. And then they admit, oh, we can't make enough Xboxes going forward. We'll be short. And it's like, well, then why? Why are we going the wrong way? Like, people should be able to at least stream Xbox games on their TV. As many games as possible, period. Like, I think the TV has the hardware to stream, right? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, but at least we need some cheap boxes out there that let people stream these fucking games. I kind of hate that solution, because it can get people trapped in an ecosystem that I don't believe in. All this streaming game bullshit. I think this shit should just be more affordable, and they should take the loss for the good of the people. But they're never gonna do that, which is fine. But we need some streaming boxes. We need some solution. Anyway, Circle of the Moon. I'm playing this on the Xbox. I don't know what platforms this is on. I would assume it's on PlayStation, and I would assume it's on everything, right? Check it out. But this game, so I played it back in the day, and this is giving me memories of being 13, 14, whatever years old, playing this game. Man, I was 13 when I went to high school, I'm pretty sure. I think. Maybe I don't know. I'm not doing the math. What a game, man. Like, I remember being really mixed on this game. It took me forever to beat it, right? This level right here, this clock tower shit, is right where you remember this game is a motherfucker. But it's still good. Because you get knocked off platforms and you got to get back up. So this game, it was the beginning of Metroidvanias. It was the first of the Metroidvania style game. That's why they call it Metroidvania, because there was this and there was Metroid in the beginning. So make me dizzy watching this. In these games, you gotta get abilities like blowing up rocks right there to get into new parts of the castle, and that's your main goal until you get to the final boss. And they do not help you at all on the map. Now, what I would have done, and this, these old games, these old Japanese games didn't help you at all, right? So take that into consideration. And this game is not that bad compared to other Castlevania games. Just take that for consideration. It's not that hard if you're committed. But it's still frustrating in a way that old Japanese games can be. Like, I think I died right here, and it really pissed me off because I still had to go back to my last checkpoint. You can do quick saves in this game, but it doesn't help you recover any health. So, it's a hard game. What are you going to do? This game has a lot of vibes. It has a lot of atmosphere. It will pull you in. It will get you with its atmosphere. You know what I mean? I think I failed a job interview because of this game, because I was at GameStop interviewing, and they said if a mother and her young child came in, what game would you recommend? And I said, this game, Circle of the Moon, because I was really hot on this game at the time. And it's a teen-rated game, and it's kind of dark, and it's got lots of monsters, and it's not great for very young children, maybe. At least the mother should know that. And, whatever, man. I think a 6-year-old can play this game just fine. But it is kind of like, somewhat like, there's some subtle satanic imagery. Like, there's like a flaming goat head, and goats have been used for sacrifices in the holy books. And in real life, forever. Whether satanic or not. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of a dark game, but the music is so good. The story is fine. It's all text, and I've been mostly skipping the story shit, honestly. But I will say you got to kill your enemies, because if you don't grind and level up, Dracula will be impossible. You'll be out leveled or under leveled. So I learned that the hard way. But I remember my brother, Jared, younger brother, didn't like this game at the time. He just said it was too hard. I think it was a generational thing, because I was used to the abuse, right? It's like 90s and 80s gamers have like Stockholm syndrome with these hard games where we just expect it, right? And we take a little bit more bullshit. But people my brother's age, they're just like, no, fuck this. Like, my younger brother's like, no, I'm not. And I can't blame him. Because there were moments for a minute where I was getting fucking mad with this game. Like, I was getting fucking upset. But it's not that bad. Like, right here, these Medusa heads, this shit was getting me mad. Like, I was rewinding the game, because there's a little bit of a rewind in this game. It doesn't make the games easier, trust me. It doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. They really know how to place enemies to where you get fucking hit all the time. That's one of the big things that pisses me off. Because they know you're going to try to jump over, and they'll have something above the enemy that'll hurt you, like spikes or something. Or they'll have an enemy throwing some shit, so you get hit by that while you're trying to go around. Like, they really know how to fuck with you. Like, we have this... Oh, fuck. Yeah, see, we have this blob on the ceiling and then the enemy beneath it. And they know it's hard to get around both of them. See? It fucking... And then I have to go back and kill this guy, and then you have the other bow guy, and see how frustrating this game is? So, it's not the worst game in the world, right? Like, being infuriating. Like, I'm not losing that much health through all this bullshit, but... Because I'm sure the older Castlevania games are worse. Like, I can't beat the first game. I have it, but I can't beat it. It's fucking hard. I really fucking recommend the Castlevania Advanced Collection, because you get 2 more games. It's I think this game on its own deserves $20. But Castlevania Advanced Collection, $20, you get Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Area of Sorrow. I think they're all great games, but once you've beaten this game, maybe your palate will be quenched. I don't have the attention span to beat the other two Castlevanias. I tried. I just, get bored because I've already beaten this one. I beat one of the games for DS that used the touchscreen screen mechanics, and I thought that game was very good. I think I beat it, or I got pretty far. I don't remember, man. I thought that game was very good. And then the game after that for the DS was very fucking hard. Is it Order of Ecclesia? I don't know. But it's hard to find time to play a lot of these Castlevania games. Because one, they do get boring, and two, they get boring after you beat one of them. But two, just the backtracking and the confusion will take a lot of your time. But recommend this game. I've beaten 3 or 4 bosses, so we'll see. I'll keep talking about this game as I continue to play it. I will jump ahead a little bit. Let's talk about Star Wars Dark Forces. So I've been playing a little bit of that lately. I will say the gameplay is actually better than I expected. So this is like an HD port, not really much of a remake, but it's like an HD port of Dark Forces 1, which is, of course, the first game in the Dark Forces franchise. You got Dark Forces 2, where your lightsaber kind of comes into play, and Dark Forces Jedi Knight 2. There's more lightsaber gunplay action, though I didn't play much of that game because I never liked it. Jedi Academy, which there are guns, but it's way more lightsaber stuff. Like half of that game is all lightsaber stuff. So, Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2 are like the two games in the Star Wars games franchise where, like, a lot of these games don't have a lot of gunplay. Like, it's all about Star Wars. It's all about lightsabers all the time now, and I think it gets old. And they don't have a lot of good shooters. This game is a totally fine shooter. You can look up and down, which is something you can't do in Doom, which is what this game is based off of graphically. The graphics engines, the Doom engine. I was having fun with this game, but the problem is the same problem I have with Doom. I always run into a part where I go, okay, where the fuck do I go? And I start running in circles, and then I stop having a good time, and then I get bent out of shape. And I have the same problem with Castlevania. Old games have this problem. So it's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So, maybe I'll pick up Dark Forces again, but it gets in the way of the fun, being confused. Old games had this problem. Maybe Doom is the biggest reason, where everything's like a maze. Maybe it's because those guys were like Dungeons and Dragons guys, so everything had to be a confusing maze. Because there's like a mindset of, oh, you got to get through this confusing. The maze is part of the maze is the real enemy, along with all the enemies you got to kill before you get to the boss. So, not a fan. Not a big fan of getting lost in video games, and the older the game, the more that happens. Seems to be the case. But I do recommend Dark Forces. It's on sale on Xbox for $15. $30 is too much goddamn money. Like, I gotta say, $30 is too much fucking money for a game that old, with gameplay mechanics that are that antiquated. So games on Xbox, they sometimes they just don't go for the sales that Steam games do sometimes, but it is what it is. I think it's still on sale on Xbox if you want to get it for 15 instead of 30. Dark Forces 1. It's not a bad game at all so far. Just expect to get confused and lost. I've been watching the Big Les show on YouTube. It's all about Dragon Ball style dudes that are jacked, and there's lore, and there's, it's such a weird fucking thing. There's Bigfoots that they're Bigfoot people that do drugs. There's bong rips. There's a lot of weed in the show. I would say watch it even if you're not a stoner, because I think it's a good show, and I recommend it because the story is so weird. I think if you like Rick and Morty, you'll like this show. I think it's actually better than Rick and Morty. So, anyway, guys, I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching the show, all two of you. I'll be posting this on Twitter. I need better places to stream, because like YouTube streaming for me is just sort of a waste of time in a way, because like I always be breaking the rules, so they're gonna fuck up my stream and make sure no one watches it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye. I'm gonna try to stream on X someday if I can ever figure that out. Bye.